Everyone in the conference room turned toward the doorway, where a little girl stood clutching a worn-out backpack and a folded piece of paper. Her shoes were scuffed, her sweater 2 sizes too big, and her brown eyes shimmered with quiet determination. "Excuse me, sir," she said, staring up at the man behind the long glass desk. "My mom was supposed to come for the interview while Broken Bar, but she's really sick. So Broken Bar I came instead." The man Ethan Cole, a millionaire CEO known for his ruthless precision and zero tolerance for mistakes, was unused to interruptions. He'd built his empire from the ground up, turning a small logistics firm into a global powerhouse. His employees feared him, investors admired him, and journalists called him the man with an iron heart. But for the first time in years, he was speechless. "You're a Broken Bar, Mom?" he asked slowly, frowning as he rose from his chair. The girl nodded, her pigtails bouncing. "Yes, sir." Her name is Clara Miller. She was going to apply for the cleaning job, but last night she got really sick, and we don't have anyone else. She told me not to come to Broken Bar. She held out the folded paper, hands shaking. "I didn't want her to lose a chance." The room fell into a heavy silence. The HR manager shifted uncomfortably. Ethan stared at the paper. Her mother's unfinished job application, creased and smudged by tiny fingers. Something deep in his chest stirred. He gestured for the girl to come in. "What's your name?" "Lily." "I'm 9. Lily," he said gently. "Why did you come?" She swallowed hard. "Because my mom said this job could help us pay rent again, and maybe buy her medicine. She's been coughing for a long time. I can help her clean. I clean really good, I promise." Her voice cracked, but she straightened her back, trying to sound brave. Ethan felt a lump in his throat. He hadn't seen that kind of courage in Ursinot since his own childhood, when he'd watched his mother scrub floors so he could stay in school. The memory came rushing back like a forgotten photograph. He cleared his throat. "Lily, do you know where your mom is now?" "She's at home, sleeping. The doctor said she needs rest, but we couldn't afford all the medicine. So I came to a Broken Bar to see if you could still give her the job." Ethan took a deep breath and nodded to his assistant. "Get my car ready." Then he turned back to the girl. "Show me where you live." The drive took them out of the city's shining glass towers into the narrow, crumbling lanes of the old district. The buildings leaned together like tired giants. Children played barefoot in puddles, and the air smelled faintly of smoke and rain. Lily led Ethan up 3 flights of dimly lit stairs, stopping in front of a faded blue door. Inside, the small apartment was cold but spotless. A woman lay on a thin mattress, pale and coughing weakly. "Mom," Lily whispered, running to her side. "I brought the boss man." Clara tried to sit up, startled and embarrassed. "Sir, yeah, I'm so sorry," she stammered, covering her mouth. She wasn't supposed to. Ethan raised a hand softly. "It's all right, Mrs. Miller. You have a brave daughter." Her eyes filled with tears. "She just wants to help." "I didn't mean to bother her." "You're not bothering me," he interrupted gently. "You've done more with less than most people I know." He looked around at the frayed curtains, the flickering bulb, the single picture frame showing a smiling man in uniform. Clara noticed his gaze. "That was my husband," she said softly. "He passed away 2 years ago. Since then, it's just been Lily and me." Ethan's jaw tightened. He remembered standing beside his own mother's hospital bed, promising he'd make something of himself so she'd never suffer again. But she died before he could give her that life. He looked at Clara, then at Lily, and something inside him broke open. "Mrs. Miller," he said, "you don't need to apologize. I'm giving you the job. And not just that, I'm moving you to company housing near the main office. It's fully furnished, and you'll get health coverage starting today." Clara gasped. "Sir, that's too much." "It's not," he said firmly. "You've earned it, both of you." Lily's eyes widened. "You mean a Broken Bar mommy gets the job?" Ethan smiled for the first time in a long while. "Yes, sweetheart, she does." The little girl jumped into her mother's arms, sobbing with joy. Ethan turned away for a moment, pretending to check his phone, hiding the tears threatening to fall. Weeks passed, and things began to change. Clara regained her strength, the color returned to her cheeks, and her laughter filled the company's service wing. The staff adored her kindness, and even the most hardened executives softened whenever Lily came by after school with her sketches and bright smile. Ethan found himself watching them often from the top floor, through the glass walls of his office. He didn't understand why he cared so much, but every time he saw Lily run to greet her mother, something healed a little inside him. One Friday afternoon, Clara knocked on his door. "Mr. Cole," she said shyly, "I just wanted to thank you for everything." "You didn't have to." "I did," he interrupted, smiling faintly. "Your daughter reminded me what courage looks like." "Sometimes we forget what really matters when we're chasing success." Clara smiled, her eyes glistening. "She's got a big heart." Her father used to say she was born to bring light to people who've forgotten how to smile. Ethan looked down at his desk, his voice barely audible. "She already has." A few months later, the company held its annual charity gala. As Ethan walked onto the stage, cameras flashing, he paused before his speech and looked out at the audience. Among the polished suits and sparkling gowns, a small girl sat in the front row beside her mother, beaming proudly. He cleared his throat. "Success," he began, "isn't measured by how much money you make, but by how much hope you give." The crowd fell silent. "A few months ago, a little girl walked into my office and reminded me of something I had forgotten, that kindness can change lives, not just others, but your own." That day, my company didn't just hire an employee, we gained a family. Lily's eyes sparkled as the audience applauded, and Ethan smiled directly at her. "Thank you, Lily," he said softly. "You showed me what true courage looks like." The camera zoomed in on her small face glowing with pride, and as the music swelled, the video faded to black, leaving viewers with tears in their eyes and a renewed belief in compassion.